fix the sound.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework thing. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Esri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla, and I will be on camera in just a minute. Mom O'Prey had to run outside and take the garbage cans in because the garbage men just came many hours late, and so she prefers not to be on camera. So as soon as she comes back in, I will put the camera on. In the meantime, no reason why we can't start looking at the chat. Ryan Johnson was first at 3:27 p.m. He says, hello in Qapla, not Ryan Johnson. And Mama Prey is back. I have the camera off for her. Mama Prey, if you could just take this. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Douglas Tarbach, Qapla Douglas, says, I thought Anti-Trekker was going to have a stroke reviewing this episode. And yes, I saw Anti-Trekker's review. And hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla. You get it twice. So nice you get it twice. Yes, I saw Anti-Trekker's review. He was not happy with this episode. Neither was I. Of course, my review was quite a bit longer, and I don't know if you made it to like the 49-minute mark of my review, but Jesus, just saying that out loud sounds ridiculous. But I assaulted my microphone. It was so bad. Anti-Trigger was not the only one to have problems with this episode, although, to be fair, I think I had problems with different parts. And there was at least 3 things, I think 4, that he got wrong. Of course, there's at least one thing I got wrong. Apparently, they didn't say hecta-acre or hecta-acre, the metric measurement for an acre. They said a hecapane or something, which is a Bajoran measurement of land that Cisco uses once in DS9 to say he bought 20 hectapanes of land on Bajor and he's going to retire there. So I still think a hectapane is probably pretty close to an acre on Earth. I don't think it's a mile or a kilometer, a square kilometer or a square mile, because for Cisco to buy 20 square miles of Bajoran land seems ridiculous. 20 acres, that sounds more appropriate for a retirement home. So I still think I was right that was a absurdly small amount of land that threatened to burn down per minute. But in fairness, we really don't know how big it is. So that's where we are. Mako, welcome Mako. Qapla says, when Anti-Trekker starts using profanities in his review, you know the episode was garbage. And I'm hearing that my volume seems low. Let's see. Fabulous D just subscribed. Qapla, Fabulous D. Let's see. Did some of my software make some changes to my Windows software? Let me just check if the sound is low on my side. Choose your output. Choose your input. Yeah, it looks like the microphone's a little low. Let's see what's going on here. App and device preferences. Yeti microphone. Yeti. Where's the Yeti setting? Master volume. Manage sound devices. Input devices. No, I don't want to disable. Jesus Christ. Really? Did they change where these settings are? Joseph Patrick with a €2 super chat says, Hector Aker, greetings. Greetings from the future. Greetings, Joseph. Hector Aker. Apologies. I'm sorry, guys. This is weird. I've never had this. Usually when I go here, it's right here. Manage sound devices. Input, manage sound devices. Speakers. Got better when I pulled it closer, but still, it shouldn't be like that. The audio is fine. Okay, well, something is up with it, but thank you. I'll leave it be. No need to tinker. Thank you. We'll worry about that later. Sorry about that. Thank you guys for those messages. Caroga Knight says, Viva Caroga, Discovery hurts more than I do. No, I don't believe that's true. Rock Solid says, no, dear Bob. Well, at least the asshole trolls don't get an audience. Yeah, here's the deal with the Dear Bop. It relies on the email system of my website, and my website is currently being upgraded, and the software upgrade is going to take a while, and the email is down. Now, it will receive email. Like if you have to submit a Dear Bop, it will probably work, but I probably won't be able to access the Dear Bops until tomorrow at this point. So I don't think we'll be able to do them today. So they'll have to probably be held over till Monday. I will check before we leave in the off chance it's done, but I highly doubt it will be. So we'll probably have to leave the Dear Bops till Monday. Joseph says, no, I'm sorry, Joseph. Moxley fan says, hi to you all. Welcome, Moxley fan. And also to me, Qapla Moxley fan. Dee Dee Meyer says, Qapla Bird of Prey. How are you and the whole family doing? Hope all is as well as can be. Thank you, Moxley. Other than Dee Dee. Thank you, Dee Dee. Other than being a little tired from still lagged from the lack of sleep from yesterday, I think we're doing okay. Moxley fan says, no Dear Bob today. No, unlikely, Moxley. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Qapla. And Moxley says, hello to Gary, rock solid. Indeed says, no sound. Yeah, are you pulling an anti-trigger? Apologies. Yes, I had the system sound shut off. Dear Bob, can I marry your sister? That's not how Dear Bops work. You can't text it Dear Bops. And I don't have permission to let you marry my sister or not. Well, since it's a Dear Bop, I will honor the anonymity, even though I know who it's from. And he sometimes wears a pink bunny suit. And so, no, Deej, I'm not pulling an anti-tracker. I had the sounds shut off from when I recorded my Star Trek Discovery review. I didn't need any system sounds, and I forgot to turn it back on. Moxley fan also says sound, please. Dee Dee Meyer says, all in the chat, Qapla. Hope everyone is enjoying their Friday and hope their weekend is better than their week was. Thank you, Dee Dee. That's nice. Project Achieve Us is going up against Trek Yards. I always end up against Trek Yards, not on purpose. It's just they happen to start the same time I do, and I know they were a channel before I was, so maybe this was their time slot, and I didn't know it. But 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern is when I go live. Today I happen to go a little early because hopefully I'll end a little early. Hopefully I'll get to sleep a little early. And I guess Trek Yards was going early, a little early today too. I had no idea. Now they are exclusively talking about Star Trek Discovery, The Sanctuary. I will talk about Star Trek Discovery, The Sanctuary briefly. So we're not really the same. If you want to only talk about Star Trek Discovery, The Sanctuary, then you should go to Trek Yards. If you just want to talk about it for a few minutes and hear some of my bigger issues with it, then maybe put in some of your own and want me to read them, and put @BirdoPray5 in your comment. I will do that. Then you can stick around here. So then the sound was too loud, according to LDG. Deej says he could barely hear it. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Indy Tiger says, hello, world. It's not Birdo Prey 5. Well, of course not. You're Indy Tiger. Moxley fan says, there we go. There's the sound. And hello to you all. Thank you again, Moxley. Carlo Albanese, Qapla Carlo, says, hi. Hope everyone's as well as can be. Carlo, I got the big ship unstuck from the ice in Space Engineers. I got it landed nicely in a nice parking spot. Of course, in Space Engineers, I went to check it today after not being on at all yesterday. And my big red spaceship, hydrogen-powered spaceship, is just gone. Something I worked hard on, completely gone from the game. It had power. It had a running wind turbine. So I don't understand why it would have been deleted or removed from the game. It's very upsetting, but that is just the risk you take when you play Space Engineers. Also, T-Berg left another surprise for me at my base, not nearly as objectionable as the giant image of Michael Burnham, but not one I recorded, unfortunately. Not Ryan Johnson says, I can't believe Birdo Prey 5 is starting on time. Oh, my bad, he's late. I'm sure. Praise Caroga, says Carlo, absolutely. Deej says it's low, and then he says hello to Mamo Prey. Mar Kral Qapla says hello there. Mamo Prey's waving back. Deej. Captain Track says, Birdo Prey, your audio is low. Is it still low? LDG says neither was I. I don't know. Lubos Chuddy says Qapla from the future. Qapla Lubos. Deej says, I thought it was a fantastic episode. Really, Deej? I highly doubt that. Captain Track says, Birdo Prey, I did ask the people on my stream to yours. Well, thank you, Captain Track. It wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it. BBB, oh, there's Sisso Prey. Says Charlie, baby, wants to hear Uncle Joey. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. Good boy. Good Charlie. Grandma says hello, too. Good Charlie. Moxley fan says, fine is the audio on my end. Good to hear, Moxley. Douglas Tarbox says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, Douglas. Indeed says, I texted him Captain Trek. I guess they were talking about the audio. Yitza says, volume is normal there. Live at the Love Shack says, no, is not. The sound is pitch perfect on my end. Thank you, Live at the Love Shack. And then it was Joseph Super Chat. Greetings from the future. Greetings. Live at the Love Shack says, oh God, first Jedi Bill, now Berto Prey is sponsored by Coca-Cola too. Well, Jedi Bill's shirt is what encouraged me to get this shirt. So yes, although we're not sponsored by Coca-Cola, we do this out of our love for the brand. BBB says, for me, it was low about a minute and now it's fine. Thank you, sis. Indie Tiger says, in the Himalayas, I imagine is where the Yeti setting is. That could be. It could be. That's the, you know what they call the Yeti? It's the Squatch of the Alps. No. Is that the Alps? No, that's not the Alps. The Squatch of the Himalayas. Live at the Love Shack, your sound is perfectly fine. Thank you again. Carlo Albanese says, hope you, Mom O'Prey, Sis O'Prey, Nephew O'Prey, and Sassy O'Prey are well. Thank you. Ron Knight, let's just say Ron says hi with a smiling face. Hello, Ron. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, Qapla, Bird of Prey. More wacky Linus adventures ahead. That Linus, I tell ya, he's always getting into trouble if he's beaming into the turbo lift or letting his skin fall over the mess hall or sneezing on somebody. I tell you, I don't know what you're going to do with that Linus. He's such a wacky character. He's the Kramer of Star Trek Discovery, which means once the show ends, he's going to get very racist. Yeah. Poor Linus. Carlo Albanese says, what is this thing sleep that you speak of? It's what happens between like 8 at night and 6 or 5 in the morning for me. Pixelate Waves, welcome Pixelate. Joseph Patrick says, Continuum Track had a car accident today and he's in the hospital. Oh no, with a spinal fracture. Going for surgery on Monday. If you're in touch with him on Twitter, send him positive thoughts. Oh my God. I saw a picture of his car accident on Twitter, but I didn't know anything about him going in the hospital or having a spinal fracture. He just posted a picture of the car and said this was interesting, and I thought that was it. I thought he had a minor car accident. I had no idea he was physically injured. Thank you for letting me know, Joseph. I will send him some thoughts on Twitter. And guys, if you know Continuum Track, he not spinal, spiral. What the hell's a spiral fracture? A spiral fracture? Like it's just in a spiral? I don't know what that means. Okay, so he doesn't have a spinal fracture. He's a spiral fracture. Hopefully that is not as bad as a spiral fracture. Or hopefully a spiral fracture is not as bad as a spinal fracture. But either way, he's got a fracture. I hope he's okay. And please send some good thoughts and prayers and vibes to Continuum Track. We hope he gets well soon. Deej says, it's not me. Someone texted you in my name and number. Son of a bitch. Yeah, so Deej texted if he could marry Sis O'Prey. It's not for me to decide, Deej. Uncle Remus is Bird of Prey. You should cancel CBS All Access and go for Disney Plus. STD is so bad and nothing is going to change. Mandalorian is worth watching instead. Yeah, it's not like Mandalorian is like a bajillion times better. I mean, the Mandalorian's main actor really doesn't like me, and he makes no qualms about even pretending that he does. Now, I know it's got Gina Carano, and she does like, seem to like, let's say, all viewpoints. So that does make me say, okay, maybe it's not a terrible show, but I'm not sold on Mandalorian. I am going to watch it. Once Discovery's over, I will binge it. And Yosef so generously gave me the $6.99 for the 1 month I'll need it to binge the show once Discovery is over in January, and I will do so at that point. Kronos says Qapla, Birdo Prey, and everyone Pray. Thank you, Kronos, Qapla, Kronos. Tigi of Doom says Qapla never really felt like a man or woman. I prefer if you refer to me as they, them. Sure, Tiki, that is so brave and stunning that you've decided to tell me that you never felt like a woman and your preferred pronoun is they and them. I am so honored that you've given me this gift that I assume you have only ever previously shared with your 15-year-old boyfriend, because that is true love when you're in love at 15 years old or possibly 14. I mean, that's there is no love deeper than that between 15-year-olds. It's all downhill from there. So thank you, Tiki. Project Achieva says, I'm here versus Track Yards. I enjoyed your review. Love what you do. Lo, thank you so much, Project Achieva. And I'm glad you enjoyed my review. The streams, the BedLife streams, they have a little different feel than the reviews. I'm not going to go totally into the Discovery review because it's just something I do after I watch it. We'll talk about it, but we talk about everything. And for the first half or so of the show, I basically just read people's chats, and you guys more or less control where the show goes. Kronos says, did Burgess say sparking spot? Do I spell gas? Sparking spot? Did I say sparking spot? I don't know what I said, Kronos. What the hell's a sparking spot? And do you spell gas? You mean, do you smell gas? Deej says, I must have been a naked picture of Tilly since he didn't object to it. No, it was a picture of Detmer, but it wasn't nearly as scary looking as looking at Michael Burnham from under the nose and looking straight up. Douglas Tarbox, Qapla Douglas Tarbox, another new name, says, tried to watch Trek Yards, but couldn't deal with them trying to find a silver lining in this POS episode like they always do. A lot of channels want to be, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, criticism channels get these days is we're too negative, right? We're too negative about Star Trek Discovery. We're too negative about Star Trek Picard. And some of us were too negative about Lower Decks, or too negative about the new Star Wars movies. I saved you guys from hearing that cough. Okay, sorry about that. So a lot of channels to head off the too negative comments, they purposely look for something positive. Now, I've done it before, and even in my review, I try, if possible, to point out something positive, if I can. This previous episode, I was kind of okay, enjoyed watching the Star Wars-like space battle of Detmer using bookship. Now, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense in the Star Trek universe, but it was fun. It was good to see her laughing. It was good to see her friends and them laughing, having a good time after the fact. None of it made any sense, but it was okay. It helped the episode for me. Now, I certainly not going to ignore the other 92% of the episode that was just terrible writing. I mean, that's the real problem with the show. It's not, I mean, some of the characters, the acting could definitely be better. Well, let's put it that way. But if it had better writing, that would turn these episodes from 2s and 3s to, you know, 6s and 7s, even 8s or 9s. And this was a Jonathan Frakes directed episode. With the right script, this could have been a damn near, perfect, but a very good episode. But if you literally can't remember what you wrote, if 7 minutes into the episode or 6 minutes into the episode, your main character says, "I'm not going to leave here until you're better," and then 7 seconds later says, "Call me if there's an update," and walks out of the room, that's just bad writing. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Okay? I assume they wrote the first 5 minutes of the script, decided to call a break for the night or the weekend, came back fresh on Monday, forgot what they wrote, and just started writing again. And then it gets past editing, it gets past approval, and it just they shoot it and then they put it on screen and nobody questions it. Nobody questions how they go out of their way to say it's a radio wave that's that's coming from the nebula, and God knows how many light years away they are from the nebula, but it they can hear it, they can see it like it just happened. If it was a subspace, then yeah, if it was a subspace stream, then certainly it would make sense. And the whole business of it's a Federation distress call. It's a Federation distress call, but they're gonna wait till they can decode it to go help. To go help. I mean, it is so ridiculous. The whole point of a distress call is we're in distress. Come save us. It would be like the Titanic. I said this before. It'd be like the Titanic sent out the SOS, but the ship that received it said, "Oh, Titanic is sending an SOS. Let's wait until they tell us what's wrong before we zoom over there at maximum speed." Yeah, Titanic had sent an SOS about 2 hours ago. We're still waiting to hear what the problem is. I mean, that it boggles all logic that they would be waiting to decode the distress signal. The distress signal would need decoding, and then what really threw me over, what made me strangle my microphone, and that's not a euphemism. That's literally what I did. When Rin is like, "I have a secret. It's the biggest secret. I can't tell anybody this secret." But then he decides he's going to tell Tilly the secret because Tilly was the nice woman who sat with him when he was alone in the lunchroom. So, Tilly, I'm going to tell you my big giant secret. This is the secret. This is why Osira wants to kill me, and the whole Emerald Chain is coming after me, because I'm the only person in the entire galaxy that knows this giant secret about the Emerald Chain. And now I'm going to tell it to you, Tilly, because with this one piece of information, you're going to be able to turn the tides on the Emerald Chain. You'll have them just where you want them. The Emerald Chain, it's running out of dilithium. God. The entire effing galaxy is running out of dilithium. This was the universe we were sent to from the first episode. Everybody is running short on dilithium. The Federation probably doesn't have a lot of extra dilithium. Hell, for some reason, they doubled down. Not only did all the dilithium blow up, but what little dilithium was left was already going out. Like dilithium is like oil. And they reached peak oil. They reached peak dilithium, and there was no more dilithium left to mine in the galaxy. And then what little dilithium was left just blew up, and now there's just scraps of dilithium. Everybody just has scraps of dilithium. Con Edison. Hello, world. Hello, world.
continue in English, press 1. This is Con Edison calling with an important message. Our records indicate there is life support equipment in your premises. The metropolitan area is expecting severe storm weather. There is the possibility that your electric service could be interrupted. For this reason, you should consider making plans if service is interrupted by going to a hospital, call 911, or making other arrangements.
Right. I should call 911 or go to a hospital, because if I go to a hospital, I say, why are you here? I'm here because Con Ed said I should go to the hospital. They're like, well, go home. We don't take in Con Ed refugees. So apparently there's going to be a storm here tomorrow, and they call to let me know the power might go out, and I should think about going to a hospital. But of course, hospitals don't have any room for people who don't actually have a particular problem and just want to wait out a storm. Anyway, Rin tells them about the dilithium. Everybody's short on dilithium. How is this news? How is this worth starting a war over? And how is he the only one who knows? Surely everybody higher up in the Emerald Chain knows. All the engineers on all their ships know. You know, gotta be more than a one-man operation distributing dilithium amongst the Emerald Chain. It makes zero sense that is the reason to go after Rin. Now, he could have known any other secrets. He could have known, I mean, hell, he knew the secrets of where to shoot the ship, of where the weak points on the ship were. That's a much bigger secret that they're running low on dilithium. Kronos says, does Mamo Prey have a tail today? I don't think so, Kronos. She's very tired. Carlo Albanese puts in a nephew O'Prey emoji. Thank you, Carlo. Good man. Not Ryan Johnson says, hail, Caroga. Sorry, no, you meant hail, Caroga, not hail on Caroga. Talk Tiki of Doom says, the Tilly goes moo. Oh, Uncle Remus. Kronos says, waves at nephew O'Prey and sis O'Prey. Thank you, Kronos. Carlo Albanese says hi to Kronos. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Thank you for watching Discovery for me. You are welcome, Kronos. Kronos says hey to Carlo. Robert Rose Jr. says Qapla. Today, Bird of Prey, Mamo Prey, and Sassy. Hope all are doing well. Thank you, Robert. I hope you are doing well. Kronos says quacked O'Prey. The hell's a quacked O'Prey? Tiki of Doom says, I thought Squatch was space between. No, that's not what is Squatch. Squatch is short for Sasquatch. Quatch O'Prey. Squatch. Live at the Love Shack says Joseph is the Sasquatch of Bratislava. I don't know. Joseph didn't look particularly hairy to me. Sis O'Prey is waving back. Uncle Remus is Bird of Prey. I haven't bothered to watch any of Discovery this season. I just listened to all the reviews to confirm not to waste my time. That is a good strategy, Uncle Remus. Kronos says, it's a tough word. It is. Squatch O'Prey. Uncle Remus says, will Tilly character go non-binary? Maybe will be Timothy. Maybe. Life with Matthew says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, and all. Qapla, Life with Matthew. Kronos says, oh no, what happened? Life with Matthew says, Discovery can hurry up and die. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, at night time, you must mean work. I didn't know it was also called sleep. Oh, yes, some people do work instead of sleep. Kronos says, doesn't sound minor to me. Uncle Remus says, can't wait to see how the Stand miniseries is going to be on CBS All Access. Pixelate Channel. Oh, Pixelate changed its name to Pixelate Channel. Qapla Pixelate Channel. Says, Bird, any chance you could DND on Skype? Your alert sound keeps faking me out. Don't worry. Nobody else is going to Skype me. I don't think. Let's see. Active. There we go. Okay. Yeah, don't display this information. Okay, there you go. And that was a Google message. Sorry about that. So hopefully that fixes it. Pixelate, first citizen of Caroga. Indy Tiger says hi to Life with Matthew. Jedi Bill, Qapla Jedi, says hello, Bird of Prey, Qapla Warrior. I am wearing my Coca-Cola red shirt today too. You must be psychic. I am a bit psychic, Jedi Bill. Deej Odyssey says gonna go lay back down. Don't wait for the call. Still listening. Feel better, Deej. I hope you're okay. Sisopray says I was told I could get a good deal on tiny Christmas tree if I buy it for the night watchman. Christmas tree buying is what goes on during those hours. That is interesting stuff. Kronos is Deej. Wow, Deej. Wow. Positive candor. Qapla positive candor says Bird of Prey. All good things. Enterprise caused the burn. I don't think it was the all good things Enterprise. That doesn't make any sense. I know everybody is betting that it's the Calypso version of the Discovery in the nebula. I know it makes no logical sense for it to be this ship, but for some reason, I'm like, it's gonna be like the ship you least expect, right? So what ship would you least expect to be there? I mean, Voyager or a Federation runabout? No. I think it's going to be, and I know it makes zero sense for it to be this, but I just have this feeling, just like I knew Jedi Bill was going to be wearing the Coca-Cola shirt today. I have a feeling it's going to be the jellyfish, the ship Spock was in Star Trek 2009. In Star Trek 2009. Now, we already know there's at least one crossover from the Kelvin universe from the preview for next week. The preview that's part of the Ready Room. If you watch the Ready Room with Will Wheaton, and you just skip all the way toward the end to the preview for next week, the person who debriefed George Yu shows a Federation officer who traveled to into the future and from the JJ verse, and he did not have a happy ending. So, but yeah, it was another parallel universe. Sizzlebraid means from the Night Watchman. You get a good deal from the Night Watchman. I gotcha. Now it makes more sense. Angarima says, yes, Mandalorian is a bajillion times better than STD. I look forward to the Mandalorian, not to STD. Well, fair enough, Uncle Remus. Corona says, do your dreamy dreams, Deej. Laters. Life with Matthew says, howdy to Indy Tiger. Joseph says, spiral fracture. When the bone breaks by twisting, not a clear break, actually a nasty thing. Oh man, that is painful to think about, Joseph. Corona says, can a person be more than one? Apparently, yes. You can be a two-spirit person, Kronos. You'd only get one vote, as far as I know, but it still can happen. Mind Blown Watcher says, unfortunately, Mandalorian is being written like Saturday morning kids show. You know what? Do conjoined twins get more than one vote? Would it matter how much of them is conjoined? Like, do they get more than one social security number? Do they have to pay separate taxes? I mean, is that not a way to get around paying taxes? What if your conjoined twin refuses to pay their taxes, but you pay your taxes? It's not practical. They put one of you in prison. So does the other person get a free pass? Or are you only charged taxes on as one person to begin with? These are questions I need to know the answers of. Now that I've asked them, I will not be satisfied until I find out these answers. Do conjoined twins get more than one vote? Do conjoined twins have to pay separate taxes? Do they get separate, whatever payments? What's the deal? What is the deal? You guys know this? And I need to know these answers. Project Achiever says, lolling. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Rambling Canuck, and all. And guys, check out this morning, Rambling Canuck History and R&R put out, I believe, their third or fourth part of the Stalin history on Joseph Stalin. It was good, as it always is. Check it out if you haven't already. That's History with R&R. Trono says, oh, multiple personalities. And says, hey to Rambling. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, the greatest love story, Romeo and Juliet, is about two teenagers. I don't know if I would call Romeo and Juliet the greatest love story. It is a popular love story, but I don't know if I'd call it the greatest. I mean, it is a pretty sad story. Darth Maul says they better not have Stamets and Adira in a relationship at some point. Oh, they never will, because frankly, Stamets is gay and Adira is not his type. Adira is not his type. Although they did say that, all Starfleet personnel are baseline bisexuals, whatever the hell that means. I highly, highly doubt it means they're going to make the gay character go for the underage 16-year-old I'm trying to think the right words. I was about to say biological woman, but I know biological woman is not the preferred way to say it anymore. It's assigned female at birth. So I highly doubt that they're going to have the gay man go for the underage assigned female at birth character. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't think they would do that. That's especially since the actor himself had his own underage experience with an older person with Kevin Spacey. That would just be horrible. There was no. I'm sorry. Even the Discovery writers, who I already gave them too much credit, even the Discovery writers wouldn't go that far. Uncle Remus says, I'll take the Saturday morning kids show anytime over STD. STD is so bad. Well, Uncle Remus, maybe you'll like Star Trek Prodigy, which would be the Nickelodeon kids show of Star Trek. Kronos says, welcome back to the captain. Live at the Love Shack says, can we call her Deathmare? Deathmare instead? Oh, Detmer, to call her Deathmare? Detmer, I got no problem with Detmer, or as she's known in some circles, Lisa Left Eye. She seems like a decent person. Even on Cameo, she seems like a decent person. It's just the script she is given. I have no. Unlike Michael Burnham, I have no real grudge against her. Indie Tiger says, spiral fracture happened to my friend when skiing. Apparently someone from his ski from behind and twisted his leg until the bone broke. Oof. Hit his ski from behind. The one time I went skiing, I went skiing twice. I was only allowed to ski once. And the one time I went, they took away my ski poles. We were learning to ski. I was in the basic ski lesson, and they're like, if you drop your ski poles, we're going to take them away from you. And I was not the first person to fall, so I was so happy. But I was the first person to have my ski poles taken away. Of course, once the lesson ended, they just gave the ski poles right back to me and said, good, now go up the mountain. Like, but you just, what? I don't understand. It was so important for you to take the poles away from me. but now I can have the poles back. Like, I didn't train with the poles. Now you're giving me the sticks or the poles, whatever they're called. Now you're giving them back to me and I should go up the mountain with them? That doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. Oh man, that was a memorable day. Because I thought I would be the first one to hit the ground. I wasn't, thankfully. And the poor person who was in front of me, when we were practicing to make a left turn, and so they made a left turn, but they couldn't stop. And if they kept going, they went like so far that there was this big yellow like caution tape, but it was heavier than caution tape. And they literally clotheslined themselves into it and fell over. And like they had to go rescue the person and bring them, not rescue them, but 2 people went and helped them up and made sure they were okay because it hit their neck, and they brought them back up to the rest of us. So then we practiced making a right turn, and the person made a right turn, and then it immediately turned into a left turn and went all the way back and again hit the same yellow barrier, and again in the neck, and again fell backwards. I didn't make it that far. I just fell before I got close to the barrier. But that was the same trip where if you ever see my picture with, I have just the one eyeglass lens in, where after skiing, I decided to just go snow tubing, and they forgot to put the rubber mats to slow me down at the bottom because I was the first one down a new hill they did. And I just hit their barrier at full speed. I went flying into the air, and it was a mess. It was a mess, but it was fun. It probably screwed up my back. It probably didn't help with my back for years later, but it was a good story. Something, yeah, you don't forget. And then after hours of searching for my eyeglass lens and finally giving up, and then hours later, finally going back to my Jeep to drive home and knowing I had a spare pair of glasses in the Jeep, I start taking all the extra clothes off, all the extra jackets and sweaters and snowsuit I had off right before I got in the Jeep. And I'm down to my last layer of clothes, and I have a pocket on my sweater, and I touch my pocket. There's something hard in it. I put my hand in and it comes out, and it's the missing lens from my eyeglasses. How did the eyeglass lens get through 4 layers of clothes and into my pocket hours and hours earlier? God only knows, but somehow it did. It was like divine intervention, and I was able to pop the lens back in and drive with the good pair of glasses instead of the old shitty pair of glasses I kept in my Jeep. That was a crazy day. Captain Trex says, Bird of Prey, I like Trek yards, but they tend to be overly positive about new Trek. You know, it is funny that when you talk to them separately, they don't particularly seem to have a great love for new Trek. But when they do Trek yards, they do seem a lot more positive. I don't know, maybe they just play off their own positivity. I'm not sure. It's weird, but I love Trek yards. I would be on Trek yards more often if I wasn't streaming all the time they were. Positive Candor is absolutely positive that STD is trash. Uncle Rima says you can't be too negative about STD. There is nothing good on that show. I laughed when the Andorian was like, what's this? It's a cat. It's a cat. It was only funny for a fraction of a second. But Project Achieva says, this is the 3rd time today I'm watching you. Enjoyed your input on Loki's Mornings of Mischief also. Oh, thank you, Project Achieva. Yeah, yesterday on Thursday mornings, I'm a regular on Loki's Mornings of Mischief. And when we review Star Trek Discovery on Loki's channel. Occasionally, I'll go on Loki's channel for other things, but the Thursday morning is the only time I'm regularly scheduled. Tronos says, Bird of Prey, please don't apologize for the too negative crowd. I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying what's the deal. Mind Blown Watcher, Qapla Mind Blown Watcher says, when I try to find STD under TV trending, it's 4 pages in. Oof. I was checking out its ratings. Its ratings on CBS, the television network, because it airs at 10 p.m. on Thursday nights. They're doing season 1 still, and it's the consistently the worst or second worst show in primetime television. It's been averaging 1.5 million total viewers, which I mean, there are YouTube channels that get more views than Star Trek Discovery in a given week. So, I mean, that's telling something. Granted, it's not my channel, and it's not even Doomcock and Nerdrotic's channel, but there are YouTube channels that blow away Star Trek Discovery in ratings. Chrono says, you can't pay me to watch this show. Well, I'm sure he could pay you something. I'm just not going to. Chrono says, how's that for negative? Chrono says, Bird of Prey, there's always good excuse. It's called quantum. Yes. The quantum whatever did whatever, and now quantum. Yitza says, I prefer to be paid to watch the show. At least it gives me something more than just annoyance and sadness. And Sisso Prey says, that did the trick. Nephew is napping. Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom. Bye, all. Wow, she's sure she's left already. Take care, Sisso Prey. Sleep tight, Nephew O'Prey. I'm sure that was about 20 minutes ago. Chrono. Oh. Mom O'Prey set the alarm for tomorrow morning at the minute. Sisso Prey. Cancel. Alexa, cancel. Set the alarm for the time Sisso Prey was born, because tomorrow is Sisso Prey's birthday. She set it a minute early so she can call Sisso Prey. So if you're still listening, Sisso Prey, expect a call. Captain Trax says, Kronos, I'm sure someone could. T-Berg says, Discovery is mediocre sophomore grade sci-fi writing, like a 1950s B movie. Oh, I don't even think it's that good, T-Berg. I think that there were some pretty good sci-fi stories in my creative writing class in high school. I would say this is like middle school level. In all honesty. Captain Trax says, hey to Yitza. Kronos says, well, at least money is good while going insane watching the show. Mind Blown Watcher says it might be a trap. It could. It's a trap. Douglas Tarbox says the distress call is from themselves. Watch, they cause the burn with all their time jumping with the suit. It could be Michael Burnham caused the burn. It could be Michael Burnham's mother caused the burn. Right? I mean, how did Michael Burnham's mother, how did Michael Burnham's mother even survive when she was pulled back in time without a suit? I mean, when Michael Burnham was pulled through time, she appeared in space and fell to the ground, and only in the nick of time turned the suit on to whatever mode to protect her from the crash. So how did Burnham's mother, Gabriel, how did she survive going through space without a suit on? I don't know. We're not supposed to think that far or that critically. T-Berg says Dust puts out better sci-fi shorts, and Discovery is from a different universe. Yeah, that's the popular theory. Kronos says Captain Trax, some peeps get paid for doing worse. Garimus says CBS All Access should burn. Well, Garimus, I believe officially beginning next year, it's no longer CBS All Access, but Paramount Plus. You know, today I saw a commercial for Discovery Channel Plus or Discovery Plus. Every stupid network on TV is putting out an app. They're charging $5 to $6 a month, and they're putting a plus at the end because, oh, Disney Plus is doing so well. Now we all have to put out apps. So we got Discovery Plus, we're going to have History Plus, we're going to have, I don't know, TNT Plus. It's ridiculous. I'm not paying for all these things. I don't know who the hell would. And just, well, why do you have to, like, at least HBO decided to call it HBO Max instead of HBO Plus. Okay. For a while, everybody was going Go. Like, it was Showtime Go or Showtime Now. Everybody was copying HBO Go, HBO Now. Then they went to Max. At least now everybody's doing Plus. There's not two brain cells of creativity to rub together. Everybody only wants to do what somebody else has already done because they feel it's safe. Like Plus is the reason people are getting Disney Plus, right? Because if it was called anything else, it was called Disney Max, it would have failed. But because it was called Disney Plus, it's doing good. It's ridiculous. Tiki of Doom says, I hope they ham-fistedly tie STD into TNG just to really push it to the limit. Wow, Tiki. They're tying it into the JJ verse. Nitpicking Nerd did a great video a few weeks back where and if you guys know Anti-Tracker, and I know many of you do, he did his triple timeline theory, which is one of his most popular videos, where according to him, because the Enterprise E went back in time during first contact, it created a new timeline where the Enterprise NX-01, met the Borg, and that's why the NX-01 looks more futuristic, because the Borg went back in time, and Zephyrin Cochrane warned people about the Borg, and they found the Borg in Antarctica in Enterprise, and so it created this new timeline that's separate and apart from the TOS timeline. Nitpicking Nerd took it a couple of steps further, and he said, well, in Trials and Tribulations in DS9, Cisco says this was the first Enterprise, and then he says Captain Kirk's Enterprise, 1701. Now, you would think that Enterprise hadn't been created yet. So if he would have said the first Enterprise, you would have think he was talking about the NX-01 Enterprise. But then there's that scene in Star Trek The Motion Picture where you see all the previous vessels named Enterprise, and you see the space shuttle, you see the weird ship with the round nacelles, and then you see the 1701, that, the familiar Enterprise from TOS. And then when you see the movie version. So it's like, well, why isn't the NX-01 Enterprise on that wall? And his theory was that when Enterprise E goes back in time and tells Cochrane about the future, then Cochrane has some input on the name of the NX-01 vessel. And in that timeline, Cochrane, really puts in his input, and he makes a big stink that it gets to be called Enterprise. And that before that happened with the Borg, that Cochrane didn't care what the name of the vessel was. Maybe it was Columbia, or maybe it was, any other name. And, the rest of their timeline would have played out more or less as it did, but it wouldn't have been called Enterprise. And so it wouldn't have been in the movie, in the motion picture, and it wouldn't have been in Deep Space Nine. And I tell you what, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes some sense. He has a decent theory and a decent way of explaining some of those inconsistencies. At some point, though, as a Star Trek fan and a realist, I just know and accept that, hey, they didn't mention it because Enterprise wasn't even thought up yet at the time. And I can ignore those little gaps in canon. I can ignore because, nobody knew about it. But from Discovery, I can't ignore, why Klingons are different, because we know what Klingons are supposed to look like. It was mentioned not only in Deep Space Nine, but also in Enterprise, and shown in TOS, and shown in many series. What you could have two types of Klingons if you wanted, and they chose a completely different kind. So that I can't accept. And I think they've been very, I think it's not coincidental that we have yet to see a Klingon in season 3 of Discovery, because once they show us a future Klingon, they're kind of locking themselves in. And it's again no surprise we didn't see a Klingon in Picard other than the still picture of Worf, where he still looks like Worf from TNG. Because if they lock in a Klingon, they're going to have a problem with why does it not match Discovery's Klingons? Or why does it match Discovery's Klingons? Either way, it's a problem. So, you know what? I think they might just not show us any more Klingons. And to be perfectly frank, I'm okay with that. Let them not show me any more Klingons. As much as I love the Klingons, if Discovery and Picard won't touch the Klingons anymore, that'll just make me happy. Tiki of Doom says, I hope they ham-fistedly tie STD. Oh, I read that. Yitza says hello to Kronos and Captain Track. Kronos says strangle the what? Choke the turkey, says Kronos. What are you talking about? I think you guys stroke the llama. No. Tiki of Doom says, oh, what if they make Robo Picard in the future? What if they meet Robo Picard? Well, Robo Picard should have died at his normal age. Yitza says, Permagerd. I don't know what that is. Hector says, hi, Parakos. Hola, Hector. Kronos says, hola. Uncle Remus says, it's too risky for Patrick Stewart to film anything unless it's on a Zoom call. Yitza says, would it be better if they'd said we're running out of toilet paper? Well, it would have fit in more with 2020. Tiki of Doom says, Picard and Michael Burnham can high five on the bridge. Wow. Mind Blown Watcher says, when did they learn to regenerate the crystals? In the Next Generation, we're told they can regenerate dilithium crystals. So it shouldn't. And Booker said he could regenerate dilithium crystals on his ship in episode 1. So there's no reason they should be needing new dilithium. It doesn't make any sense. T-Berg says he's choking Mike Rowe's phone. Nobody's choking Mike Rowe's phone. The microphone. Oh, micro. I get it. I got it. Kronos is running out of dilithium. Yeah, that's what we were told. The galaxy is running out of dilithium. Agner says, I doubt I can follow this today. I only saw 5 episodes. I only saw episode 5, more or less. Until half the episode, I decided I could care less about anyone on that show. It's okay, Hector. We're not really talking about it that much. Uncle Remus says, your life support equipment will be shutting down now. Goodbye. Yeah, thanks, Con Ed. T-Berg says they should switch to Folgers crystals. Dilithium crystals got you down. Switch to Folgers crystals. Professor Brainy Specs Qapla says, Kronos, you may be running out of dilithium, Kronos. Project Achieva is lolling again. I guess that is a good sign. Wow, we are far, far, far behind in chat. Douglas Tarbox has figured out how to recrystallize dilithium in Star Trek. Spock figured out how to recrystallize dilithium in Star Trek 4. That too. But by the Next Generation, it was built into the Enterprise. T-Berg says, I'm surprised Bird hasn't been hit by lightning in Space Engineers yet. Well, truth be told, I just haven't been off the ground all that much. Chrono says it's all about the dilithium, baby. Actor says running out of toilet paper seems to be the main concern in the States. That's true. Chrono says, oh, that's premium. Professor Brainy Speck says, Qapla, Jeff. Andy Tiger says, does anyone know the cartoon Eek the Cat? There was an episode where Timmy the young deer was running out of gravity. No, I am not familiar with that cartoon or the concept of running out of gravity. Yitzhak says he might have known the secret of an AI that's not an AI that can come through a portal made by androids that will destroy the galaxy, but alas, he did not. Professor Brainy Specs, hail on Caroga. No, not hail on Caroga. T-Berg, Sci-Fi Tech says, oh, praise have tails. I thought horns. We do not have tails, nor horns, nor ridges. Professor Brainy Specs is again saying hail on Caroga. Chrono says, bird of prey. I understand if Mama Prey can't do a tail today. You understand I have to try. I understand, Kronos. And one day, Mama Prey will do a tail again. It has been foretold by the prophets. T-Berg says, confirmed bird of prey prefers redheads over Asians. T-Berg, to be completely honest, the right Asian or the right redhead can be damn attractive. I won't lie. There's no one that I prefer over the other. It's as I'm gonna say not as is. There's no rule. There's no steadfast rule. It would just depend on how they're put together. It would depend on how they're put together. I can't say I prefer one over the other. Chrono says, "Oh hey, to Yosef, you don't shave." Yosef doesn't. I don't know how much Yosef shaves. I don't know. Professor Brainy Specs says T-Berg. Bird has both. Mamo Prey has a halo and no tail. Actor says do or do not. There is no try to Kronos. Mindblown Watcher says send Michael Burnham some Nequadria. T-Berg says I'm non-binary. I'm hexadecimal. Wow. Hexadecimal is actually should be called sexadecimal, but the teachers and the people teaching it decided that they'll call it hexadecimal instead because they didn't want to deal with the jokes. Speaking of Nequadria, is it Nequadria? That's Naquita, excuse me. Naquia, whatever. I started watching Stargate SG1 from episode 1 last night. I've seen it 2 or 3 times already, over the years, but it's been a while. So I started rewatching the SG1 series again. It's going to take me months to get through it, but I started. Skrono says that does sound like a reference to something. Wesley Crusher's in the house. Qapla West. Says, Bird, what day is it? I don't even know anymore. Off to work. I go, it's Friday, Wes. You probably already left for work. Have a good day, Wes. Chrono says, I miss accentless Ector. So much easier to chat with. Absolutely. Professor Brainy Specs says, life with Matthew. That's harsh. Wishing death on something. Who was wishing death? That's tough. D-Berg says, Leela says Friday. Wesley says, puts in Caroga flags and the bird of prey. Wait, why didn't the bird of prey head show up? That's weird. Thank you, Wes. Actor says, how many cycles is Bird behind in the chat? That's a good question. That was 507. Oh man, 32 minutes behind. We're going to have to skip to the ones that have at Bird of Prey 5 in them. Mindblown Watcher says a Tholian ship. T-Berg says Stargate Universe at Destiny meeting Destiny. Copied plot. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey. Anyone else notice we haven't heard from the other ship computer since dinner in the captain's mess? That's a good point, Rock Solid. What's going on with the ship's computer? God only knows. Kronos says Bird of Prey. Is your shirt pre or post cocaine cola? I think it's post. Yetsa says we haven't heard from so many plot points. Kronos says Bird of Prey, my bad. There is no pre-cocaine Coke. Coke was the first Coke as far as I know. Captain Track says Bird of Prey, I wanted to do this, and he puts in all the emojis. since it will be the last day I can send custom emojis. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Captain Trek. I guess you'll be dropping off the members, but that's fine, Captain Trek. Thank you so much for being a channel member, and I love to see those emojis. Actor says conjoined twins legal hurdles. Caroga sure they would be shot anyways. No, Caroga does not shoot conjoined twins. Kronos is pondering. Darth Maul says, Bird of Prey, what if the conjoined twins are joined at the hip? Does the left one vote Dem and the right one Republican? I don't know. I'm very curious. Professor Brainy Sprack says, Bird of Prey, my hands are freezing. And what about HIPAA violations? Right? How do HIPAA violations follow? Because like if you're a doctor and you need to talk to only one of the conjoined twins to tell them about a health issue that's unique to their half of the body, how do you stop the other conjoined twin from listening in if they share ears? It seems like conjoined twins are just HIPAA violations, walking HIPAA violations. I don't know. These are tough questions that need to be answered. Chrono says conjoined twins work twice as well in minds. Absolutely. Especially if they have 4 legs, 4 arms. Hector says only if they have 4. Exactly. Only if they have 4 arms. More magma. More magma says Quato lives, a reference from Total Recall. And yes, Chrono says Quato was a fighter for Mars. Magos has never heard of any Hollywood celebrity going for underage kids. That would be a first. Darth Maul says Bird of Prey. Oh my God, Stamets actor had a Spacey. Yes, he's the one who blew the lid on Kevin Spacey. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. I'm forcing myself to not say it. I know it's too late. I can't. It's already. He blew the lid off Kevin Spacey. Wasn't the only thing he blew. I'm sorry. I tried. It was already loaded in the buffer and it had to come out. There was no undoing it. Robert Rose is Bird of Prey. There are a couple of 1-800 trainings, the orphans of Caroga Mines in all forms. Wow. Bird of Prey. There are a couple of 1-800s training the orphans of the Carogan Mines in all forms of combat and weapons training, among them also for the revolt and to overthrow you also. I just hope they're not training them in English. Yosef's certain channels are hinting that Owo and Detmer are a couple, Bird of Prey. Looks like soon heterosexuality will be the minority. I don't get any vibes from them being a couple. Just because they talk nicely to each other, it doesn't. I'd be very surprised if that happens. Kronos is what happens when a cough god gets PMS. Don't know what happens. Wesley says bye to Captain Track. Mind Blown Watcher says thanks, Kronos. Been years since I read it on the wall. Life with Matthew says since Adira doesn't identify as a man or a woman, does that mean Stamets or Culber as gay men might find them attractive? No, I don't think it works that way. Kronos says, oh Lord. Wesley says Bird of Prey. Hi, bye. See everyone later. Take care, Wes. Kronos says, did you break your spine pole dancing, Bird of Prey? I did not. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, thank you for telling a tale. You're welcome. Mako says, Bird went skiing, danced with a girl, so many memories. Mako says, good old Bird. Kronos says, I like the crash test dummies, Bird of Prey. It's like Sinatra. It is not like Sinatra. Kronos' bird of prey. Oh, that was a Jeep tail you were in your hand, your pocket or something came out. Interesting. Well, that was my black Jeep. I had my white Jeep, then my black Jeep, and then my gray Jeep. In that order. Life with Matters' discovery clearly takes place in an alternate universe. I would say that's... I don't know if they meant it to, but I'd say that's fair. Yosa says, Captain Trek yards are balanced. They tell plenty of times how they dislike Discovery, especially now they're comparing it against seasons against each other. Kronos' bird of prey, you trust CBS's ratings? I do not. Kronos says, wow, you're a cheap bird of prey. You wouldn't pay me anything to watch Discovery. I'm not going to pay you, but somebody might. I don't know why. Carlos is bird of prey. I hope tomorrow I can have the Carogan battleship ready. Very cool, Carlo. Very cool. Joseph says, somehow I forgot about the AI on Discovery. Yes, they abandoned the plot. It'll be back. Kronos is bird of prey. I'm lucky. I only have one brain cell and no rubbing going on. And not only do they abandon plots, they abandon characters. How many episodes has it been since we see Jet Reno? Right? Until this last episode, how many episodes has it been since we've seen the chief medical officer? I don't even know if we saw her this season. Many characters just get left behind. There was 2 or 3 episodes we didn't see Dr. Culber. I guess they don't have the budget to have all the characters in a show. I don't understand. Jedi Bill says it's called Showtime Anytime. Okay. Thank you, Jedi. Max Power sounds catchy, says Kronos. It does. It's a power name. Kronos is bird of prey. I've seen Klingarks. That's what killed Discovery for me. I can believe it. I can believe it. Jedi Bill says, hey, bird of prey, Qapla, will you ever have your own Discord server? I do have my own Discord server. Go to birdopray5.com, Jedi Bill, and there's a link for my Discord server. Chrono says, yes, I have no dilithium, bird of prey, like bananas. It's okay, nobody has dilithium right now. Chrono says, bird of prey, all hail the prophets. Absolutely. May the prophets be with you and with you. Kronos says, you can have a sexway. I don't know what a sexway is, Kronos, but I'll take 2. Darth Maul says, bird of prey, Christina Hendricks is a beautiful example of a redhead M. She's divorced now. That sounds great. Don't know what a redhead M is, but okay. Magos is better Stargate than STD. Absolutely. It's like a palate cleanser. Kronos is bird of prey. My facial hair allows me to ponder. That's good. I like it. This allows me to ponder too. So what are you doing? I'm pondering. Now, if I didn't have a beard, it'd just be like you're scratching your chin. Life with Matthews is bird of prey. Futurama taught me that conjoined twins have to shove their fingers into their ears and sing in Chinese to not hear something for your twin. Yeah, I don't know if that was counted as a conjoined twin, but it's something. Actor says, bird of prey 5, conjoined twins say that they learn to block out private talks with the other half. They claim to, but that doesn't work. That HIPAA doesn't work like that. Okay, HIPAA doesn't work like that. Live with Magic Bird of Prey, I think Detmer is in a relationship with the other girl too. You think it's a 3-way between the 3 women on the bridge? That would be interesting. Dan23 Qapla says, bird of prey, you like Frank Sinatra music. Any opinion on Michael Bublé? Yeah, I like Frank Sinatra much, much, much better. Where's the wheelchair guy? Says Jitsa. Either they left him behind or maybe they cured him. I don't know. Maybe the future medicine cured him. Who knows? Maybe they can do a scan on the atomic level and then figure out a cure. Actors says, bird of prey, dilithium exists. It's lithium in gas form, Li2. I don't think that's dilithium is clearly a crystal, a solid in Star Trek. Stroke it, says Kronos. Actors as Bird of Prey, why so much talk about relationships on a Star Trek show? I think because there's nothing else to talk about, right? There's not a hell of a lot of Trek to talk about, not a lot of science, not a lot of Star Trek related to plots to talk about. You know, we can't talk about whale probes. We can't talk about Romulans, really. We can't talk about Klingons, really. We can't talk about, the Prime Directive. The only thing left to talk about are relationships, because that's all we really get. That's the better part of an episode, is the relationships amongst the crew, and not even good relationships like in Deep Space Nine, like childlike relationships, like written by teenagers who think this is how adults behave when it's clearly not. Actor says Bird of Prey. Yeah, I just read that. Dan says Peter Griffin chin nuts. Lol. I don't think Peter Griffin chin nuts are a thing. Check in. Yeah, unfortunately, Dear Bop is still out. And yeah. Anyway, guys, I know this was a short one, and I apologize. I am exhausted, though, as you can probably tell, and I need to get some rest. So please go ahead over to Trek Yards if they're still on, or your other favorite channel. Check them out. Say hello. I don't know that I'll be on any streams later. I will most likely be calling it an early night. And tomorrow, though, I hope to be on normal time. We have a special Cinema Saturday. It is Sis O'Pre's birthday. She may or may not be in attendance, but we will be watching Old School. It is a great comedy. I really hope you can all join me for it. Tomorrow, 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. Be on the lookout. I'll post up when we're going on. And I hope to see you guys all there. Qapla all. It would help if I said Bird out. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Bird of Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.